Good morning, guys, and happy Friday. We have made it through another week. Some of you have been involved in swivel training this week, and we are going to end the week with our K-2 PowerTeacher Pro Gradebook Part 3. In this lesson today, you are going to learn about how to add an assignment. We're going to talk about the K-2 as being a collected assignment so that things will filter and work easier for you as the teacher with comments and things like that. And that way you'll understand how to put an assignment in. And then we're going to finish up with doing a recap of what the screen should look like for your progress reports, and understanding the fact that you still at this point can use the feedback form that you have in the past, but you just need to understand how to create a progress report when it does come time to move over and transition to gradebook. We are going to put the actual attendance link inside of the chat. Lisa and Cole are here with me this morning, and we are going to take you through this process. So if you'll click on that link from Digital Teaching and Learning and complete the attendance form, we will go ahead and get started in a minute. While you're completing that, always remember that the link that you clicked on today that was provided by your principal is also the same link that you will utilize to watch the recording. Sometimes it's better to watch it and look at the functionality of the presentation and actually go back through it hands-on and really look at what's going on inside of your PowerTeacher gradebook. So you'll use that same link to watch the recording. Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started. We're going to start out with assignments and our first steps in that process. Remember, inside of your Canvas course, you do have modules, and each time we have a session, we add modules in there. This will be module 3 in your Canvas course, which we will publish as soon as we get through with this actual presentation. But when we're looking at assignments themselves, those first have to be set up under a certain area before we can transition to assignments. So how do I set up a category itself? Assignments are based on the creation, but then they're pushed to a certain category. So we have to set those categories up first. So you begin that process by opening up your gradebook. You transition over to the left-hand side of your screen, and you'll see our screenshots here, to the A+ grading tab. Once you click that, you'll get the drop-down area here that you see, and you select categories, which we've highlighted in blue. What happens at that time is you're going to get the second screenshot, which is at the bottom. Now, what happens in this area is if you've never touched it before, it only has the categories that are pushed from the district. How do I know that something is a district push category? It will always have the schoolhouse icon there. So what you need to know about a category that has a schoolhouse is you can never edit the title of it. Because it is pushed from the district, it has to stay as that category name. So for instance, if I wanted to take that classwork category and change it to classwork/participation, I would have to make the one for the district inactive and create my own new category. Now, if you do not plan to use any of the categories that are listed there other than classwork, because that's the one we're going to look at this morning, you have to make those inactive so that the only thing showing on your screen is the classwork. Now, again, you don't have to use just the classwork category, but that one would be enough for you to add all of your collected only assignments under. So if you needed a homework category, which is already there, you would leave that. And if you needed your classwork, you'd leave that. But if there was another one you wanted to add, say you were testing them for like an informal assessment just to see where they were, then you technically could leave that test there as well. But majority of you guys for K2 would probably just select classwork. So what happens in this area is you will go in and click the pencil to the far right of each of the categories. And what you have to do is you will go into each one of those categories and make it inactive. And the inactive button is there where it says status. You will change active to inactive so that it only leaves the classwork category. So once that classwork category is left there under your categories area, there's a few things you have to do to edit that category. Anytime you want to edit a category, you will click on the pencil to the right of the category. And the first thing you want to do is you want to come to this area and click your drop down to select your classes. Now for you, you will put a check beside of, and we have it written here, ELA, your math, your science, and your social studies. So you'll have 4 classes that will receive this category. When you do that, you are going to save that automatically. It saves it. You're going to transition over, when you click there, you're going to transition over to what we call editing the assignment defaults. Now, what does that mean? That technically means that for every assignment that I put in that category, what do I want my setup to look like? So I don't have to change something every time I create an assignment. Assignment default, what am I defaulting my assignments to? Where it says score type, you are going to click collected only. There's a drop down right there. That means anytime you create an assignment, it will say collected only. Collected only means that the assignment was completed and collected. There's no numerical grade of a 1, 2, 3, 4 given for the assignment. You're just saying, okay, that student did that. The purpose of this type of score is to assist in keeping your record of the assignments completed. And your parents could actually see those inside of the parent portal. They'll know that something has turned in. Also, you have that data collection for parent conferences. Now, when we come to this area and we change, you should be able to keep publish assignment to immediately. And then publisher scores will always have a check by default. You'll then click your save button, which is at the bottom. So let's talk about that for a second. You're going to go in and edit your assignments by going into your categories, and you're going to make the ones inactive through the pencil that you don't want to use. Classwork would be the easiest one to keep. You're going to take classwork and you're going to edit it by changing it to the classes you want it to go to, your ELA, your math, your science, your social studies. You're then going to go up under the tab for assignment defaults, and you're going to select collected only. Collected only means that the student did the assignment and you've collected it. Remember, it's not a numeric 1, 2, 3, 4. Lisa's going to talk to you about what do I do now that I have set up my category. Let me say this. You only have to do the category setup one time. You don't have to do that for every class. It will push to every class on that screen once you select that course. So you'll do that one time and then you'll transition over to creating the assignment itself. So Lisa's going to show you how to do that.
Good morning, everyone. We're going to start with creating an assignment using the collected only feature. This will look a little familiar because right now I'm in A+ grading on the blue tab on the left side. And you see that there's a roster there. This roster is going to be the score sheet view for you. So as you input collected only, you'll be able to see your full class at one time as the assignment or assignments are pushed in. At the top right-hand corner, you're going to look for the plus create button. You're going to select assignment through the drop-down and click assignment to create it. Next, it's going to pull an actual pop-out box to create an actual assignment. In the assignment tab area, which there are 3, you have an assignment tab, a students tab, and a publish tab. The screenshot to the right. In the assignment tab, you're going to first look at the selected classes, which here in this screenshot, it's for ELA. The assignment name, you have the option to put your name of the assignment that you are teaching. The category, as Stephanie described before, was classwork. There is a drop down if in fact you have other active categories. Because classwork was set up as a collected only assignment, the score type, as you see there, says collected only. And then you have the option to put a due date. Keep in mind that your assignments are per content area. So if you want to share this assignment to other classes, you can use the drop down called select classes and put a green check mark next to them. For instance, if you have an ELA and social studies passage that you want to use, you can then select ELA and social studies, and both those assignments will show in both courses. Make sure at the end, when you have put in your assignment name, you've selected the category and the score type with the due date. At the bottom right, you have a green button, Save and Close. Like always in PowerTeacher Pro, there's more than one way to get somewhere. In order to view the assignments that you have put in PowerTeacher Pro, you have 2 options. When you click on A+ grading, your screenshots are to the right. You have an assignment list, which means that it will list all of your assignments from top to bottom, and it can be filtered based on clicking on the column for the date or the category. The next option you have is score sheet, which is what we presented to you today, where it shows the full student roster. Score sheet will show you the student roster on the left and the assignments in date order to the right. And finally, what does it look like? On this slide, we presented to you coming through the score sheet. Inside that score sheet, we have built one assignment. We've labeled it progress report, just so you see what it is. A progress report is something that is a collected only type of assignment where it can get pushed out. So it will show also on the parent portal, but this will refer to any assignment that you put in. This is your score sheet with the student roster. We went to the create button at the top right and clicked assignment. We gave the assignment a name. We gave it a score type of collected only. And when we click on an individual box for a student, you have the pop-out calculator. That pop-out calculator, as you see in green with the white check mark, says collected. So we're able to go ahead and select collected. And if you wanted to put a comment underneath for that one particular student, you can. We wanted to make sure that you saw what this looks like as we move forward using PowerTeacher Pro for K-2. So you would then continue to utilize and go down the column per your students of either missing, collected, etc. You even have an option for exempt. Now we're just going to do a little bit of a review. How to run a progress report. In Module 1 and in Module 2, we have talked about running a progress report. And we just want to review it just again so that as we're coming into the new semester after the holiday, you know what to do. So for an individual standards progress report, you're going to click on the blue tab called Reports. We've highlighted in blue just so you knew the specific areas really to concentrate on. So here, report title, if you're going to be in quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, quarter 4, progress report grading is our title. Classes, you have the opportunity to select one class or the 3 or 4 classes for your students. Lower down, we have a data area, and we're just selecting standards final grade. And we'll go ahead and show you an up-close drop-down in the next slide. Keep in mind, you want to include the standards identifier because we are standard-based grading, as well as the date range. Make sure you're selecting the correct reporting term. And then you'll run the report. So here's that up-close area for you on the data itself. So here you have the select data, which says course grades and attendance, which is just giving the title bar at the top for what course the student is in: ELA, math, science, social studies. You then have a check mark for standards final grade. And then again, the screenshot here is showing that drop box goes back up, and you want to make sure you have include standards identifier. For right now, for quarter 1 and quarter 2 that we're almost completing, you've had the opportunity to utilize either the feedback form that Dr. Evans has sent out to everyone for quarter 1 and quarter 2. And as we transition to the new semester for quarter 3 and quarter 4, we will then transition over to the individual standards progress report. There'll be, like I said, there's always additional training. There are always modules for you to listen to again, go through in the sense of inside Canvas, and you are always more than welcome. And we actually urge you to email Stephanie, myself, or Cole at any time when there's a hiccup or something that needs to be, I'm not going to say retaught, but just re-looked at again, if it will make it easier for teachers as we move forward. Lastly, for the individual standard progress report, you have the printing function. The printing function is under the format area. Remember, your orientation needs to be in portrait, so you have the most real estate for your, the most length on the page, depending on what you're doing. You have the option for page break between students. Once you go ahead and hit run report, it will then put it in the report queue, which you can access through the bell at the top little right corner where you see in the screenshot below the little 1 in a red circle. You'll click on that progress report, grading report, or whatever you have chosen to name it. And then from there, it will pull it up so you can see it. Keep in mind, every teacher is different. You may need to tweak a report here and there for what you want it to print for your students. Keep in mind, we suggest that you print per content area, just so that it is not confusing by trying to print ELA, math, science, and social studies. And it may, if you do it that way with content, it may take longer to print. Lastly, this is what your standards progress report will look like. It is very similar, if not the same, in putting in your grades for your report card. So you would go in and put your final grade in for your standards, and it shows on the screenshot there the different grades and how it works. So 1s, 2s, 3s, 4s, numeric. Don't forget, if you have not self-enrolled yet, I'll leave this screen up for a little bit so that you have it. If you want the modules 1, 2, and 3, the presentations, or the YouTube video live stream that we've done each time, this is the link that you would put in your web browser to actually self-enroll into the course itself. If you ever have questions, Cole, Stephanie, and myself are always available through email is the fastest route to get to us, where we can answer questions for you at any time. Don't forget, if you have not had a chance to fill out the attendance form, it is in the chat feature of the YouTube Live link right there. It's been pushed in there so that you get credit for today's training. And that website again for self-enroll is https://robinson.instructure.com/enroll/F369J8. If for any chance you need screenshots for your data person or for your own records of different items that while you're working through PowerTeacher Pro, we have given you some links here that will help you no matter what device you are on. And then, like always, we have the K-2 rollout schedule, which today concludes the training for K-2 report cards, progress reports, and how to utilize PowerTeacher Pro. We see in the chat there are a few questions. We're going to answer a few, and then we will send you on your way. So when do we start using this option for adding assignments, Q2 or Q3? That is a possibility where we're pushing for Q3, Q4 in the sense of adding assignments. Remember, we're only pushing the idea of collected only to help bridge that gap in remote and hybrid learning. Because we are on Christmas break, Dr. Evans will send out an email of when report cards will be due. I would only to assume we're going to wait to print them in the I think it's 2 teacher work days, January 4th, 5th. Students come back on the 6th for either remote learning or face-to-face. Undecided there. I can only assume it's 5 days as of January 4th. But again, we'll have Dr. Evans send something out and she can confirm with PowerSchool what that will look like. If there's any other questions, chat feature is there. Otherwise, we're going to let you go. So part 2 training link. If in fact you self-enroll in the Canvas course, which is the link right above you, Miss Kimberly, you will find Module 1, Module 2, and as soon as we conclude today's training, we will go ahead and publish Module 3. So yes, you will have all 3 of them in there for you. Presentation as one assignment, as well as the video link as a second assignment. Everybody, we hope you have a safe holiday and a rest of your December, and we look forward to hearing from you in January. Again, if you have anything or any questions about anything, feel free and email Miss Stephanie, myself, or Mr. Cole. We look forward to hearing from you, and we hope you have a safe holiday. Have a great day.